Whoa, bold and beautiful fans, buckle up, 'cause this week's gonna slay you. Pregnant Luna's locked up, but wait, a brutal prison shank attack aims straight for her baby bump. Is little Spencer in jeopardy? Katie's on warpath for custody, that kid's mine. Bill's raging, touch my grandbaby, you're dead. Will's torn, Electra's fighting back, and Steffi's jetting home to blow it all up. Will Luna manipulate her way out, or lose everything? You have to see this twist, it's insane. Hit play now, don't miss a second, or you'll regret it forever. The sterile hum of fluorescent lights buzzed overhead in the visitation room of the Los Angeles County Jail, casting harsh shadows on the scarred metal table that separated Luna Nozawa from the outside world. Her orange jumpsuit hung loosely on her frame, the fabric a constant reminder of the walls closing in around her. At just 22, with her dark hair pulled back in a severe ponytail and her once bright eyes dulled by exhaustion, Luna looked every bit the broken young woman she played so convincingly. But beneath that facade simmered the fire of desperation, the unyielding belief that her unborn child, the tiny life kicking insistently against her belly, was her golden ticket out. She placed a hand protectively over the slight swell, whispering promises to the baby as if it could hear her through the din of clanging doors and distant shouts. Across from her sat Katie Logan Spencer, her posture ramrod straight, arms crossed like a fortress wall. Katie's sharp gaze, framed by perfectly coiffed blonde waves, bore into Luna with the precision of a woman who had stared down corporate sharks and family betrayals alike. She wasn't here for small talk. The air between them crackled with the unspoken verdict of the paternity test results that had upended everything just days ago. Will Spencer, sweet, impressionable Will, was the father. And now, with Luna's latest string of crimes catching up to her, kidnapping, attempted murder at the boathouse, the drugging that had left Will vulnerable, custody was the battlefield. You think this changes anything? Katie's voice sliced through the tension, low and controlled, but laced with the steel of a mother protecting her own. That little life inside you. It's a Spencer, yes. But it's not yours to gamble with anymore, Luna. Bill and we're filing for full custody the moment that baby draws breath. You'll never touch it. Not after what you've done. Luna's fingers tightened on the edge of the table, her knuckles widening. She leaned forward, her voice a husky whisper that carried the weight of feigned vulnerability. Katie, please. You can't do this. This baby, it's all I have left. My mom, Lee, she's gone, twisted everything against me. And Will, he loves me. He told me. We were meant to be a family. Her eyes welled up, tears tracing silent paths down her cheeks, but Katie didn't flinch. Luna had mastered the art of the sob story, honing it through manipulations that had nearly ensnared Bill himself. But Katie had seen through vipers before, this one was just wearing a prettier face. Katie's laugh was bitter, echoing off the concrete walls like a slap. Love? You drugged my son, Luna. You forced yourself on him, lied about everything, from your identity to that fabricated Forrester legacy. And now you sit here, pregnant with his child, acting like some tragic heroine. Spare me. That baby deserves stability, not a mother who collects bodies like designer handbags. Hollis, Penelope, don't think we forgot. You're a danger, plain and simple. And jail? It's where dangers belong. The buzzer sounded then, signaling the end of visitation. Luna's hand shot out instinctively, grasping Katie's wrist with surprising strength. Wait, please. If not for me, for the baby. It's kicking right now, feel it. Her voice cracked, a genuine tremor slipping through the performance. Katie yanked her arm back, her expression hardening into something almost pitying. That's exactly why we're doing this. To save it from you. She stood, smoothing her pencil skirt as if dismissing a bad business deal, and walked out without a backward glance. The door clanged shut, leaving Luna alone with the echo of her own ragged breaths. Hours blurred into the monotonous rhythm of lockup, the scrape of trays at mealtime, the muffled sobs from neighboring cells, the occasional catcall that made Luna curl tighter into her bunk. She had hoped the pregnancy would buy her leniency, a sympathetic judge, perhaps, postponing trial until after the birth. But Electra Forrester's call to the cops had sealed her fate faster than anticipated. That meddling girl, with her wide-eyed innocence and Forrester entitlement, had marched right into Spencer Mansion and dialed Baker herself. "She's a monster," Electra had declared, her voice trembling but resolute in the recounting Luna had overheard from Will during a frantic phone call. Will had sounded torn, his words stumbling over apologies and pleas for her safety, but Luna knew better. He was slipping away, poisoned by his mother's resolve. Night fell heavy that evening, the cell block plunged into a dim twilight broken only by the red glow of emergency lights. Luna lay on her thin mattress, one arm draped over her belly, humming a lullaby her mother had once sung, before Lee's lies had fractured everything. The baby fluttered in response, a tiny Morse code of reassurance. "We'll get out of here, little one," she murmured. "Grandpa Bill won't let them keep us apart. He's got pull, money, he'll fix this." But doubt gnawed at her, sharper than the hunger pangs that came with prison rations. What if Katie won? What if they whisked her child away to some gilded Spencer nursery, erasing her from its life like a smudged ink blot? A shadow shifted in the corridor beyond her bars, subtle at first, then deliberate. Footsteps, soft and shuffling, approached her cell. Luna sat up, heart pounding against her ribs. "Who's there?" "Guard." No answer. The figure emerged into the faint light, a hulking woman, mid-40s, with a shaved head scarred from God knows what brawl and tattoos snaking up her thick arms like barbed wire. Her eyes, cold and appraising, fixed on Luna's midsection. "Heard you're the fresh meat," the woman growled, her voice gravelly from years of cigarettes and screams. "Forrester's little psycho princess. They say you offed your own kin. Classy." Luna scrambled back against the wall, her mind racing. "Stay back. I didn't do those things. It was all a misunderstanding." But the woman laughed, a wet, mocking bark that reverberated down the hall. She rattled the bars with a meaty fist, testing the lock. Routine checks were lax this late, and rumor had it a guard owed her favors. "Misunderstanding. Sweetie, in here, we eat girls like you for breakfast. Especially ones with Spencer brats on board. Word travels fast. Your boy's granddaddy. He locked up half our sisters for looking at him funny. Time for payback."
Panic surged through Luna like ice water. She pressed the call button frantically, but the intercom crackled to life only with static, sabotaged, no doubt. The woman, Big Rita, Luna recalled from whispered warnings during intake, produced a makeshift shank from her sleeve, a jagged shard of toothbrush wrapped in tape, glinting ominously. "Just a little lesson," Rita sneered, sliding the door open with a practiced jimmy. "Gotta make sure that belly don't get too comfy." Luna screamed then, a raw primal sound that tore from her throat as Rita lunged. She dodged sideways, her body heavy and unwieldy, crashing into the bunk frame. Pain exploded in her side, a glancing blow from the shank that sliced through fabric and skin, warm blood seeping instantly. "Help! Guards!" But Rita was on her, pinning her down with brute force, the shank hovering inches from Luna's abdomen. "You think you're special? Carrying a rich kid? I've lost 3 inside these walls. Your turn to feel it." The world narrowed to flashes. Rita's snarling face, the metallic tang of fierce sweat, the desperate kick of the baby as if sensing the threat. Luna clawed at Rita's arm, nails raking deep furrows, buying seconds. "No, please, not the baby." In a surge of adrenaline, she drove her knee upward, connecting with Rita's gut. The woman wheezed, staggering back just enough for Luna to roll free and slam her palm against the alarm on the wall. Sirens wailed to life, red lights pulsing like a heartbeat gone wild. Guards burst in moments later, batons drawn, tackling Rita to the floor in a flurry of shouts and restraints. Luna slumped against the bars, clutching her side, blood staining her jumpsuit in a blooming crimson flower. Her breaths came in gasps, vision blurring as shock set in. "The baby, check the baby," she whimpered to the nearest officer, a burly man with a mustache who radioed for medical. As they cuffed Rita, spitting curses about Spencer scum, Luna's mind reeled. Was this the end? Or her salvation? Pain throbbed, but so did possibility. An attack like this, it could force an early release, medical leave, sympathy from the Spencers. She just had to survive the night. By dawn, the jail's infirmary was a whirlwind of beeping monitors and harried nurses. Luna lay on a gurney, and 4 dripping saline into her arm, ultrasound wand gliding over her gel-smeared belly. The doctor, a stern woman with wire-rimmed glasses, studied the screen intently. "Heartbeat strong," she announced finally, her tone clipped but reassuring. "No signs of distress. The cut's superficial. Stitches will handle it. But you're on bed rest protocol now. Any more stress, and we might have complications." Luna exhaled shakily, tears of relief mixing with the sweat on her brow. "Thank God. My baby. It's a fighter like its mom." But as the adrenaline ebbed, fear crept back in. Rita's words echoed. Payback for the Spencers. How many more like her lurked in these shadows? And outside, Katie's custody threat loomed larger than ever. If word of the attack got out, and it would, in this gossip-fueled city, it could sway the judge, or terrify Will into silence. Her cell phone privileges reinstated briefly for medical reasons, Luna dialed the only number that mattered, Bill Spencer's direct line. It rang twice before his gravelly baritone answered, laced with the exhaustion of a man juggling empires and family crises. "Luna? What the hell, it's 5 a.m. You okay?" "Bill. Grandpa." The words slipped out, manipulative honey even in crisis. She let a sob punctuate it, drawing out the vulnerability. "They attacked me. In my cell. Some woman with a grudge against you. Said it was payback. I fought her off, but the blood, Bill. I thought I lost the baby. Your grandchild." Silence stretched, then Bill's voice thundered back, fury igniting like dry tinder. "Attacked? In county? Those sons of bitches. I'll have Baker's badge for this. Where are you hurt? Talk to me." "Just a cut on my side," Luna murmured, wincing theatrically though the nurse was watching. "But the doctor says bed rest." "Bill, I'm scared. Katie wants to take the baby away, and now this? What if they try again? I can't protect us in here." Bill's breathing steadied, the protective patriarch surfacing. "Listen to me, kid. You're a Spencer now, blood or not. No one's touching you or that baby on my watch. I'll call my lawyers, get you transferred to a private wing. Hell, I'll pull strings for house arrest if I have to. Katie, she'll come around. She's just protecting Will. But this changes things." Hope flickered in Luna's chest, fragile as a moth's wing. "You promise?" "I don't want to fight your family, Bill. I just want what's best for the baby. For all of us." "I promise," he growled, the vow heavy with unspoken regrets, his own soft spot for lost causes, the echo of his failures with Luna's deceptions. "Sit tight. I'm coming down there myself." As the call ended, Luna closed her eyes, the pain meds dulling the edges of her world. Transferred? House arrest at the mansion? It was a long shot, but Bill's influence was legendary. Yet doubt lingered. What about Electra, that self-righteous thorn? Or Finn, her biological father, who had washed his hands of her long ago? And Steffy, returning from Europe any day, primed to unleash Forrester wrath. Across town, in the sun-drenched opulence of the Spencer living room, Katie paced like a caged lioness, phone clutched in her manicured fist. The mansion's floor-to-ceiling windows framed a flawless October morning, palm fronds swaying lazily, the Pacific glittering beyond. But inside, storm clouds gathered. Will slouched on the leather sofa, his boyish face etched with lines no 20-something should bear, nursing a coffee that had gone cold. Electra perched beside him, her hand on his knee, a silent anchor in the chaos Luna had wrought. Katie whirled on them, her silk blouse whispering accusations. I just got the call from the jail. Attacked? In her cell? And she reaches out to Bill first? That girl's a black widow, spinning her web even from behind bars. Will's head snapped up, color draining from his cheeks. Attacked? Mom, is she okay? The baby. Katie's eyes flashed. Superficial cut, they say. Baby's fine for now. But don't you see? This is classic Luna. Provoke the inmates, play the victim, reel Bill back in with sob stories. And you? She jabbed a finger at Electra. Your call to Baker was spot on, but now it's blowing up. If that baby gets hurt because of some prison grudge against us Spencers. Electra stiffened, her green eyes narrowing in defense. Me? I did what was right, Katie. Luna drugged him, lied to him, nearly killed people. She's a murderer hiding behind a pregnancy. If anyone's to blame, it's Bill for bailing her out twice already. And you, Will, how can you still worry about her after everything? Will rubbed his temples, the weight of fatherhood crashing down anew. Because it's my kid, Electra. Innocent in all this. I hate what she did, God, the drugging. It haunts me. But if something happens to them in there. His voice trailed off, vulnerability cracking his resolve. He had loved Luna once, or thought he had, in the whirlwind of her charm and his naivety. Now, it was pity tangled with resentment, a knot he couldn't untie. Katie sank onto the armchair opposite, her fire softening to weary resolve. I know, sweetheart. That's why we're fighting for custody. But Bill's already en route, lawyers in tow. If he springs her, we'll lose ground. We need to talk to Rich, get the Forresters on board. Steffi's due back today. She'll see right through this. The door burst open then. Bill striding in like a force of nature, his custom suit rumpled from the drive, face thunderous. Katie, what the hell is going on? Luna's in the infirmary, bleeding, terrified. And you're plotting custody grabs? That girl's carrying our blood. Katie rose to meet him, inches from his chest, their history. A tapestry of passion, betrayal, reconciliation, flaring in the space between. Our blood? It's Will's blood, Bill, forced into this mess by her lies. And now she's using a prison shanking to manipulate you? Wake up. That baby will be born addicted to her chaos if we let her near it. Bill's jaw clenched, the war between grandfather and realist raging. You weren't there, Katie. She sounded broken. And that shank? Aimed at her belly. Our grandchild. I won't let the system, or your vendetta, risk that. Will stood, voice steady for the first time. Dad, Mom, stop. Electra's right. Luna's dangerous. But maybe we compromise. Supervised visits after the birth. For the baby's sake. Electra squeezed his hand, her whisper fierce. You're too good, Will. But don't let her drag you back in. As arguments overlapped in a cacophony of love and accusation, the phone buzzed again. Baker, confirming Luna's transfer to a secure medical facility. Bill nodded grimly, already dialing his fixer. It's done. She's out by noon. Katie's eyes blazed, but beneath the fury lurked fear, the primal terror of a family fracturing further. This isn't over, Bill. That baby's future? It's in our hands now. Meanwhile, at Forrester Creations, the boardroom hummed with the low buzz of scheming executives, but Steffy Forrester's return from Milan shattered the calm like a designer heel through glass. She swept in, tanned and triumphant, designer tote slung over her shoulder, only to freeze at the sight of Finn hovering by the coffee station, his surgeon's hands fidgeting with uncharacteristic nerves. Steffi, babe, welcome home, Finn said, pulling her into a hug that she returned with fierce possession. But his tension was palpable, a live wire under his white coat. We need to talk. About Luna. Steffi's blue eyes, sharp as cut sapphires, narrowed. Luna? As in the psycho who shot at me and vanished? What now? Did she rise from the dead with a voodoo doll? Finn winced, guiding her to the leather seats by the window overlooking the bustling design floor. Below, models glided in sample gowns, oblivious to the drama brewing above. Worse. She's alive, in jail and pregnant. With Will Spencer's baby. Steffi's laugh died in her throat, replaced by a gasp. Pregnant? That lunatic? Finn, tell me you're joking. After the boathouse, the lies. My family thought she was dead. He nodded, running a hand through his dark hair. Paternity's confirmed. Katie's gunning for custody. Bill's playing knight in shining armor. And this morning? Prison attack. Shank to the side, aim low. Horror etched Steffi's features, her mind flashing to near misses, the bullet that had grazed her own skin. Attacked? Got the baby, our niece or nephew Finn. Luna's my half-sister, twisted as that is, but this? We can't let her near it. Ridge was right, she's poison. Finn's expression darkened, paternal guilt shadowing his gaze. I know. I abandoned her as a kid, Steffy. Lee covered it up, but part of me wonders if I could have stopped this. Now, with the baby. Steffy cupped his face, her touch grounding. Hey no, you can't save everyone. But we fight now. For the child, for Will, for us. Call Rich. We're ending this cycle. As they plotted, alliances shifting like sands, Luna was wheeled out of the jail under heavy guard, the ambulance sirens a siren's call to freedom. Stitched and sedated, she dreamed of the mansion's marble floors, Will's tentative smile, a family forged in fire. But awakening in a private room at Cedars-Sinai, flanked by Bill's security detail, reality bit deep. Nurses bustled, monitors beeped steadily, and through the window, the city sprawled indifferent. Bill sat vigil at her bedside, his presence a monolithic comfort. You're safe now, Luna. Doctors say the baby's a trooper. No Jeopardy, just some extra monitoring. Luna managed a weak smile, squeezing his hand. Thank you. I don't deserve it. He chuckled softly, the sound rumbling like distant thunder. Family's not about deserving, kid. It's about showing up. But listen, no more games. You get clean, you testify straight, and maybe, just maybe, we build something real for that little one. Tears pricked her eyes, genuine this time. I promise, Bill. For the baby. Yet as he stepped out to confer with lawyers, Luna's gaze hardened. Promises were tools, after all. The attack had bought her time sympathy, a crack in Katie's armor. But Jeopardy lingered, not just in bars, but in the hearts she still needed to conquer. The baby kicked again, a reminder. Survival meant scheming, always one step ahead. In the days that followed, the Spencer mansion became a powder keg of whispered confrontations and slammed doors. Katie cornered Bill in the study one evening, crystal decanters glinting like accusations under the chandelier's glow. House arrest? Here? With her crimes fresh as yesterday's headlines? You're inviting the devil to dinner, Bill. He swirled his scotch, eyes weary. Not inviting, protecting. The judge signed off, medical necessity. Guards 24/7. And custody hearings in 2 weeks. You want the baby? Prove you're the stable one. Katie's voice rose, a whip crack. Stable? I've built empires while you chase skirts. Luna's the one who'll poison it, literally, if her track record holds. Will overheard from the hallway, Electra at his side, her face a mask of quiet fury. Mom's right, Dad. Luna called me today, from her room. Miss you, Daddy, she cooed. Like nothing happened. Electra's grip tightened on his arm. See? She's embedding already. We need boundaries, Will. Or she'll swallow you whole. Down the hall, in the guest wing now repurposed as Luna's gilded cage, she paced her sunlit confines, ankle monitor beeping softly. The attack scars itched under bandages, a badge of her resilience. A sonogram photo taped to the mirror showed the baby's profile, tiny nose, defiant chin. Soon, my love, she breathed. We'll have it all. But night brought doubts. The baby's somersaults a frantic Morse. Jeopardy. If Katie prevailed, if Steffi's return ignited war, Luna needed allies. A call to an old contact, shady, but loyal, sealed her next play. Leak the attack details, she instructed softly. Make it look like Spencer enemies. Sympathy surge. As headlines screamed, pregnant heiress stabbed in jail horror, the family fractured further. Finn and Steffy arrived at the mansion unannounced, faces set in grim unity. We're here for the baby, Steffy declared, breezing past Bill. Not her games. In the living room showdown, voices clashed like cymbals, Katie's barbs, Bill's defenses, Will's pleas, Electra's quiet steel, Finn's measured guilt, Steffi's fire. Luna watched from the stairs, unseen, her hand on her belly. The baby fluttered, strong, unjeopardized for now. But in the bold world of beauty and betrayal, tomorrow's dawn hid daggers. Weeks wove into a tense tapestry, court dates looming like guillotines. Luna's belly swelled, ultrasounds confirming a healthy girl, named Hope in private whispers, ironic armor. The attack faded to tabloid fodder, but its ripples spread. Electra faced Will's growing distance, Katie's custody bid fortified by expert testimonies on Luna's instability. Bill, torn, confided in Ridge over cigars at Il Giardino, the Italian bistro's ambience a farce against their gravity. "She's my blood, Ridge," Bill admitted, smoke curling like regrets. "But Katie's right, Luna's a hurricane." Ridge nodded, his designer jaw set. "Family's messy, Spencer. Steffi's pushing for adoption. Us raising the kid, neutral ground. Cut Luna out clean." Bill's eyes narrowed. "Over my dead body." Yet as labor pains gripped Luna one stormy midnight, sirens wailing anew. Not attack, but arrival. The mansion mobilized. Katie drove, white-knuckled, Bill barking orders to the OB on speed dial. Will hovered in the waiting room, Electra's hand his lifeline, while Steffi and Finn arrived in a blur of concern and calculation. In the delivery suite, amid contractions and cries, Luna pushed through agony, her screams a catharsis of all she'd endured. "For you," she gasped to the unseen daughter. The baby emerged at 3:17 a.m., October 28th, a squalling miracle with Will's eyes and Luna's dark tuft. Cleaned and swaddled, she was placed in Luna's arms, briefly, before nurses whisked her to NICU monitoring. "She's perfect," Luna wept, but the monitor's beep mocked, "Still Jeopardy," pending the judge's gavel. Postpartum haze lifted to courtroom clarity days later. Judge Harrow, stern in black robes, reviewed files thick as novels. Katie's team paraded shrinks diagnosing Luna's manipulative tendencies, while Bill's countered with redemption arcs and attack trauma. Luna testified, voice steady, "I was lost, Your Honor. But this child, she's my anchor. I'll change for her." Will spoke next, raw honesty cracking his polish. "She's the mother of my daughter. But I fear for them both." The gavel fell like fate. Temporary custody to Spencer's, supervised visits for Luna pending therapy. Jeopardy averted, but chains remained. Months later, in the mansion's nursery, little Hope gurgled under Katie's watchful eye, Bill cooing absurdly. Luna visited weekly, progress measured in tears and breakthroughs. One day, she whispered to Hope during a stolen cuddle, "We'll run this town." Outside, alliances mended fractiously. Electra and Will tentative, Steffi vigilant, Finn forgiving in fragments. The bold and beautiful spun on, beauty masking the scars, each heart a battlefield where love and Jeopardy danced eternal tango.